everyone, it's Kimber Schaefer here for Rage in the Cage OKC News, and we are here at Wilshire Gun Range, our Rage in the Cage sponsor. They are sponsoring our Rage in the Cage 49 event coming up December 16th, and I couldn't be more excited. I love bringing you debut fighters. This is Brad Frakes, everyone, and Brad, this is your debut fight, so I want you to, let's start at the very beginning and kind of give your background and how you ended up in MMA fighter in the first place.
When I was younger, I did a lot of Taekwondo classes. Through junior high, sometimes I wrestled. After that, I did a lot of ice hockey, and I've always done things that make me physical, but I've never really had something that just kind of drove me. Now I'm 25, I have 3 children, and I've always thought about it. My wife's really into the mixed martial arts. She's a great support team. She holds down the household for sure. And she told me that you need to do it before you get too old, and so I contacted Rage in the Cage, and I'm lucky enough they were nice enough to give me a fight and give me a chance, and hopefully it goes well.
Now, do you have a background like in high school in sports or athletics or wrestling? Or?
In high school I didn't wrestle at all. I've done some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but nothing really.
Well, what are you looking long-term as far as your fighting career? Are you even to that point? I mean, I know you're a debut, but a lot of guys go into this just having a very clear, understanding of what they want.
Yeah, I try not to look past today. You can get a big head and you can get some lofty dreams and just forget what you're doing right now. Sometimes, you can't go to the gym and run on the treadmill if you're thinking about 2 years from now you might be fighting on TV or something like that. So I try to just think about, I'm an amateur fighter. I'm fighting a guy who's 0-2, but he's been in the cage twice and I haven't been at all, so he's much more experienced than me. I'm new to all this, so as long as I can do what I need to do on that night, December 16th, win my fight, then we can talk about goals or something like that after that. But I don't really have any goals besides winning this fight, and after that, we'll see what happens.
Well, you sound very level-headed, and I think that's really actually very smart because, I mean, as a debut fighter, you have enough on your mind.
Yeah.
Just the worry of being in the cage the first time is enough to not have to put that much pressure on yourself to worry about the future. And so a lot of people will tell you, as an amateur fighter, this is kind of your time to kind of find your, strengths and your weaknesses. And since you've not been in the cage anymore so far, up until now, do you have areas you feel like that you really need to work on before December 16th?
Before December 16th, I'm going to have to cut a little bit. I'm going to have to cut a little bit of weight. I think I need to get my cardio up to where it needs to be. My ground defense could be a little better. Everything could be a little better. It's my first fight. I'm an amateur. There's a lot of room to improve. But just if I was going to point out 2 things, I would say my cardio and probably the ground takedown defense. Not really worried about either one of those going into the fight. I feel like I can control it as much as I need to. Just to be safe, I'm not going to go in there and say I'm going to knock the guy out or anything. But I think I'm going to have control of the fight from start to finish.
And another thing that I know that some of your trainers may have talked to you about is the emotion, the mind games as you go in, and being able to just stay calm as that cage door closes. I mean, some fighters have talked about just the sounds of hearing that cage door close and everything going silent. Are you kind of going into it just trying to learn how to calm yourself and keep yourself kind of calm, cool, and collected in the cage?
When I was younger, I fought a lot. I've been beat up, been beat on people. I was shot at when I was younger as a young kid at 16. So I mean, there's not a whole lot of stuff that's just really going to shake me to the core. I think getting in front of the crowd will be the big difference for me. As far as what I'm doing to prepare for that, I'm just praying every night and working hard. I'm overworking, so that way I'm more prepared than need to be as far as that goes.
One thing I didn't ask you is what your hometown is. I know you mentioned you also have 3 children. If you want to talk a little bit about your family, your kids' ages.
Cool. My hometown's Moore, Oklahoma. I was first graduating class sophomore in 2009. I have 2 children that are here right now. Brinley, who is 6. Brittany Michelle, love you, baby. Kennedy Elizabeth, she's 2. She's going to be 3 in March. Hi. And then we have one on the way that we don't know what it is yet. So that's with Sarah, and she's pregnant. It's really, Sarah's my wife. She's really kind of kind of supported me on no matter what I do. If I decide to jump off a bridge, she's going to be there to record it and make sure everything's okay. Call 911 if she needs it. She's my best friend, and she's pretty awesome. So I love you. And there's no doubt about it. She'll be the loudest one there cheering for me.
Well, fantastic. I love her anyways. You've kind of sold her on me, that's for sure. Well, hey, before we go, is there any shout outs? You've kind of mentioned your family, any thank yous, anything that you want people to know about you?
Everyone in my life, everyone to this point, when you're coming into a debut fight and you say, I'm a car salesman, you pick up something and you say, I'm going to decide to do this, or I'm going to decide to do MMA. I haven't had anyone say, you know what, this is a bad idea. I've had people tell me about the reservation, say, hey, you might get hurt, hey, you might do this, but they haven't said you can't do it, and I really appreciate everyone for that. My mother, my father, Sarah, my wife, my best friend, John Hagan, and then a guy that's really been there with me through the thick and thin, that's Cody Kelly. He was really helping me train when I very first started and got my mind right and made me feel confident about my ability.
I love it. Hey, Brad Frakes, everyone. This is his debut fight, and I absolutely love it myself when I get to see people from day one. Like Ken Coulter is one of those. It's going to be fighting on this card. I saw his very first debut fight, and I've been able to follow his career. Obviously, several fighters in the past 2 years I've been working in it. So I'm so excited to see your career blossom. Everyone, come out. Rage in the Cage 49, December 16th. Support this guy and all the other guys on the card. You can get tickets from Brad here, or you can get tickets from ticketstorm.com, and we absolutely hope to see you there, where we're going to rage it up.